In a place where dreams feel out of reach, one teacher arrives with nothing but hope. But what she discovers in this quiet mountain village will change her life forever. Hello everyone, welcome to ScreenVille. Today we're diving into a deeply emotional story from rural China, Blossom in the Mountains, a film that shows how even the smallest act of kindness can grow into something life-changing. In the beginning of the movie, we find ourselves in a breathtaking mountain region of China. The scenery looks like something straight out of a painting. A bus winds its way along a curving mountain road heading toward a small village. Among the passengers is a gentle-looking woman. Her name is Miss Lin. Most of the seats aren't filled with people, but with bags and supplies. Everyone here is returning to their village. After some time, the bus stops on a hillside. Miss Lin grabs her luggage, steps off, and quietly stands there. She's waiting for someone. A few moments later, an electric bike pulls up beside her. A middle-aged man gets off and asks, "Are you Miss Lin?" She nods. "I'm the principal of Da Mai Village Primary School," he says. "I'm sorry I'm late. I was out buying supplies for the school." Miss Lin climbs onto the back of the bike, and together they head toward the village. From their conversation, we learn that Miss Lin is the new teacher at the village's only primary school, and the principal himself came to pick her up. Miss Lin studied music, so the principal assumes she'll be the children's new music teacher. Excited, he opens the school's music room, a space that's been locked up for years. Everything inside is buried under dust. The only instrument in the room is an old piano. The principal proudly shows it to her, but Miss Lin gently tells him, "I can teach the children everything except music." At that moment, memories of her own mother come flooding back. The principal then shows Miss Lin to her small living quarters. Before leaving, he says, "If you need anything, please let me know." Miss Lin loves her little room. The truth is, her mother passed away just a few months ago. Trying to escape the suffocating memories and the cold machinery of city life, Miss Lin took this job in a remote village school. She comes from a wealthy family, but wealth couldn't save her from grief. That night at dinner, the principal introduces Miss Lin to the school's other two teachers, Miss Tian and Mr. Yu. After eating, Miss Lin lies alone in the dark, remembering the days before she came to this village. She remembers her mother. The silence around her is absolute, exactly what she was looking for. But then, she hears something, a sound. She grabs a light and searches the darkness. The sound is coming from the locked music room. She shines her light toward the door, but it's padlocked shut. That night passes like a whisper. The next day, the children are in class. The principal decides to teach music himself. He brings an old music player, turns it on, and starts singing from a handwritten song sheet. His voice is not good. The children burst out laughing. Standing outside the classroom, Miss Lin watches. Her eyes are drawn to one particular child. His hands are moving. He's silently playing something in the air. His name is Zane. During recess, all the children play together, but Miss Lin notices Zane sitting alone on a tree branch, completely silent. She finds it strange. Another teacher quietly explains Zane's story. Zane's mother died a few years ago. His father works in the city, far away. Zane lived with his mother since he was small. But after she passed away, the boy never spoke another word. Not once. He just sits alone, always quiet, always apart. Hearing this, Miss Lin's heart aches for him. After recess, Miss Lin gets ready to teach her very first class. She writes her name on the blackboard. Then she wants to get to know every child. One by one, the students stand up and say their names. But when it's Zane's turn, he just sits there in silence. Another boy jumps up and says, "Ma'am, he's disabled, he can't talk." The other children immediately protest. "No, ma'am, he's not disabled. He just hasn't spoken to anyone in years." Miss Lin pauses. "Then why isn't he sitting in the front row?" A child explains, "The principal made the rules. Seats are based on test scores. The best students sit in front. The worst sit in the back." The principal is standing outside the door, listening to everything. Miss Lin turns to the class and says softly but firmly, "In my classroom, you will sit wherever you want. I'll talk to the principal." Miss Lin asks each child to say one English word. One by one, they try. Then Miss Lin places a small diary in front of Zane. She says gently, "If you don't want to speak, you can write here." Zane picks up a pencil. He writes a single word, "Mother." After class, Miss Lin finds the principal working in the school's vegetable garden. She tells him directly, "I don't agree with seating children by their test scores. It puts too much pressure on them, emotionally. The principal doesn't look up. You're new here. You don't understand everything yet. This system makes the children work harder. They want to move to the front. Miss Lin says nothing more. She walks away. At the end of the school day, the principal hands out vegetables from the garden to the children. Miss Lin watches from a distance. She decides to explore the nearby village. That's when she sees one of her students, a little girl named Suzhen. Suzhen is carrying her younger brother on her back while working. Her parents are gone. She lives with her grandparents and helps them however she can. Miss Lin reaches for the little boy, wanting to hold him, but the baby starts crying hard. Suzhen quietly takes her brother back into her arms, and instantly, he calms down. That night, Miss Lin sits alone in her room. She scrolls through old photos on her phone, memories of her mother. Then, she hears the sound again. She rushes outside immediately, but there's nothing there. No one, just darkness. The next day, Miss Lin tells her two fellow teachers about the strange sounds. Mr. Yu says, "I told you before. I've heard piano sounds coming from that room, but none of you believed me. I think there's a ghost." Miss Tian quickly scolds him and shuts him up. Later, Miss Lin secretly takes the key from the principal's office. She unlocks the dusty piano room and steps inside. On the old, dust-covered piano, she sees fresh fingerprints. Her heart races. She searches every corner. The back door is locked from the inside. There's no way anyone could have gotten in. She returns to class and organizes a game, boys versus girls. But because Zane can't speak, the boys lose, the girls win. Zane's friend is furious. He pushes Zane and yells at him. Zane doesn't fight back. He doesn't say a word. He just quietly walks out of the classroom and heads toward his favorite tree. The principal catches him and starts scolding him. "You skipped class again." But then Miss Lin arrives and steps in to protect Zane. Still, the principal punishes Zane. He has to clean the dusty, dirty piano room. Miss Lin takes Zane by the hand and leads him there. Together, they start cleaning. After a while, Zane looks tired. Miss Lin tells him to rest, but Zane keeps working, lost in his own world. Miss Lin kneels beside him and says softly, "You don't have to speak in my class, but never run away from my class again." Zane just stares at her with wide, silent eyes. He doesn't answer, but something in his look says he heard her. That night, Miss Lin is checking the children's homework notebooks. Most of them are filthy. Some even have dried rice stuck to the pages. The next day, she drops the notebooks off at the principal's office. On his desk, she spots a notice for a parents' meeting. Her face lights up, but the principal quickly brings her back to reality. "That's just a formality," he says. "Most of these children don't have parents living here. This school never actually holds parent-teacher meetings." Miss Lin refuses to accept that. "This is so important. Even if the parents aren't around, what about grandparents or other family members?" I looked at the homework notebooks yesterday, and honestly, I was heartbroken. These children need guidance at home too. I want to hold this parents' meeting. The principal sighs, irritated. "Do whatever you want. I don't object." The next day in class, Miss Lin hands each child a letter to give to their guardian. It's an invitation to the parents' meeting. The day of the meeting arrives. Guardians show up right on time. Most of the children have brought their grandparents, but the adults are busy chatting among themselves. Some even brought their goats along. No one is paying Miss Lin any attention. Then the principal walks into the room. He immediately commands everyone's attention. He says firmly, "You all have responsibilities outside of this school. The places where these children do their homework must be clean. But look at their notebooks. Many of them are destroyed. Pay attention to these things." He goes on for a while. Then he turns to Miss Lin. "Is there anything else you want to add?" Miss Lin shakes her head gently. "What you said is enough." After the meeting, Miss Lin places a diary in front of Zane. She asks softly, "Why didn't your guardian come?" Zane just stands there in silence. Then Miss Lin notices something. The side of Zane's neck is cut open. She asks urgently, "How did this happen?" She immediately takes Zane to the doctor. The doctor cleans the wound and wraps it carefully. Then he looks at Miss Lin and says, "Take him home. Make sure someone looks after him properly." As they leave the clinic, Zane walks ahead alone. Miss Lin runs after him and grabs his hand. "I want to talk to your parents," she says. Zane ignores her. She tries again. "I want to know more about you, Zane." But as always, he just stays silent. That night, Miss Lin asks the principal for Zane's home address. Then she goes there. A man greets her at the door. She introduces herself. "I'm Zane's teacher." The man welcomes her warmly. Miss Lin begins, "I heard you live in the city most of the time. I understand earning money is important, but taking care of a child is just as important." The man laughs gently. "I tell Zane's father the same thing." Then he clarifies, "But I'm not his father. When Zane's father is away in the city, I come to check on Zane. Every few days I buy him everything he needs. His father sends me the money. I'm the village chief." He hands Zane the money his father sent. Then he turns to leave. Miss Lin stops him. "Why doesn't Zane speak?" The village chief's face softens. "I took him to the city hospital. The doctors ran tests. They said there's nothing wrong with his throat." He pauses. Zane's father was always working in the city, so Zane's whole world was his mother. And when he lost her, that boy became completely alone. He hasn't spoken a single word to anyone since. The next day, Miss Lin watches Zane from a distance. On the playground, in the classroom, everywhere. She observes him quietly. Zane never fights back against anything. He never protests. He just sits there in silence. That day, the principal is teaching a math class, but the way he explains things feels too difficult for the children. Miss Lin can see it on their faces. She speaks up. "Sir, if you don't mind, I'd like to take this math class." The principal happily agrees. Miss Lin teaches the math problems in a simple, gentle way, almost like a soft piano melody. The children understand easily. The principal watches, impressed, and for the first time, Zane is paying close attention. That night, Miss Lin watches old videos of her mother. Then suddenly, she hears the piano again. She rushes outside. This time, the principal is right behind her. He heard it too. They both enter the room. They search everywhere, but they find nothing. The back door is locked from the inside. The front door was closed too. The principal is deeply confused. The next day, Miss Lin gets the old piano repaired. That night, she sits outside the piano room with a flashlight. Tonight, she's going to solve this mystery. After a while, she sees it. A small hand reaching up to the piano. Someone begins to play. Miss Lin moves closer, step by step, as quietly as she can. But accidentally, she makes a noise. And then she sees him. It's Zane. He immediately hides. But Miss Lin pushes open the back door. The one everyone thought was locked. That's how someone had been getting in every single night. The mystery is solved. The next day, the principal is about to hit Zane for not doing his homework. Miss Lin calls him outside. She pleads with him. "Please don't hit him. Give me 1 week. I promise. Zane will do his homework on his own." The principal shakes his head. "That's impossible. I've known Zane for years." Miss Lin starts to think the principal simply doesn't like Zane. So after class, she goes to give him a small gift, a can of food. The principal is busy with his work. He looks up and asks bluntly, "Are you trying to bribe me?" His words sting. Miss Lin feels hurt. Then the principal stands up and hands her 2 pieces of bread. But Miss Lin is too upset. She turns and walks away. That night at dinner, the other 2 teachers tell Miss Lin about the principal. Miss Dean says gently, "You probably think the principal is harsh with the children, but he's just acting. He does it for their own good." She continues, "He used to smoke a lot, but he quit years ago. You know what he does with that money? He saves it. And with that money, he buys notebooks for the poor children. These children never have to buy their own notebooks. He was transferred to the city many times," Miss Tien says. "But because of these children, these left-behind children, he has stayed in this village for 30 years. He has no family of his own to speak of. At one point, this school only had 4 or 5 children. Parents wouldn't send them to school. They sent them to work instead. The principal went to every single house. He begged them on his knees to send their children back to school." Then Miss Tien points toward Zane. "That boy you see, his father sent him to work at a pig farm. The principal paid his father 2 months of his own salary just to free that child and bring him back to school." She looks at Miss Lin. "The principal treats every single one of these children like his own. He spends all his money on them." Tears fill Miss Lin's eyes. She had misunderstood this great man so completely. The next day, Zane is sitting in his favorite tree. Miss Lin walks to the bottom of it. She looks up and says, "I know who's been playing the piano every night." She pauses. "But you're not very good at it yet. If you want to learn how to play properly from me, then starting today, you need to do your homework." Miss Lin had figured it out. She had seen the piano notes drawn in Zane's notebook. From that day on, every day after school, Zane does his homework with Miss Lin. And at night, they both sneak into the piano room through the secret path Zane had made. Miss Lin begins teaching Zane everything about the piano. and Zane learns with all his heart. As she teaches him, Miss Lin remembers her own mother. This is exactly how her mother taught her to play. But one night, the principal hears the piano again and rushes to the room. He opens the door but finds no one inside. Zane and Miss Lin had hidden just in time. For the very first time, Zane smiles. The next day, the principal is grading homework notebooks. Suddenly, his eyes stop. He looks at the name on the notebook again. Zane did his homework. The principal calls Zane to his desk. "Did you do this?" Zane nods. "Yes." The principal says nothing more. He just tells Zane to go back to his seat. But deep inside, the principal is overjoyed. Day after day, Miss Lin keeps giving Zane her time and care. One day, Zane is sitting in his tree again. Miss Lin tells him to come down, but Zane gestures for her to come up. Miss Lin doesn't know how to climb a tree. But today, she's determined to see why Zane loves this spot so much. She struggles, but finally makes it up. Zane points toward the horizon. Miss Lin looks, and her breath stops. She has never seen anything so beautiful. The sunset paints the mountains in gold and purple. They sit together in silence, watching the sun disappear beyond the hills. The next day, Miss Lin takes the entire class on a little trip. The children are overjoyed. They stop at the edge of a mountain cliff. Miss Lin looks out at the open sky and starts shouting. The children follow their teacher. They shout with all their hearts and listen to their echoes bounce back. Then Miss Lin raises her hand. Everyone falls silent. She says, "Now shout out your deepest wishes. Shout them into the mountains, and watch, they will come true." One by one, the children scream their dreams. One wants to be a soldier. One wants to be a doctor. One wants to be a teacher. But one boy is too shy to say anything. Miss Lin gently encourages him. Finally, he takes a deep breath and screams with all his might. "Mom, Dad, come back home soon. I miss you so much." Tears stream down his face. And then, one by one, every child looks toward the mountains and screams the same wish. They all cry, because every single one of these children has parents working in the city far away. All of them are left behind. The children sob openly. A little distance away, Zane stands alone. Tears roll silently down his cheeks too, but he doesn't scream. He doesn't make a sound. He just cries in complete silence. And watching them all, Miss Lin can no longer hold back her own tears. The next day after school, Miss Lin is working in the principal's office. She hands Zane her phone and says, "Watch the video and practice the piano notes. I'll be back soon." Zane focuses intently on the phone, watching the lesson. Then a message pops up. It's Miss Lin's birthday. Her friends are sending her wishes. Meanwhile, the principal is learning English from Miss Lin. She asks him, "Why are you learning English?" The principal smiles happily. "When I retire, I want to travel across the country. Maybe even visit a few neighboring countries. I'll need English for that." That night, from the piano room, Miss Lin hears a soft melody. "Happy birthday to you." Zane is trying his best to play it slowly, note by note. Miss Lin enters the room. She sits down beside him, and together, they play the tune. When the song ends, Miss Lin looks at Zane and says, "Thank you. Every birthday of mine, my mother would play this same song on the piano, just like that." She holds up her phone. This phone is filled with nothing but memories of her. Miss Lin's voice begins to crack. "My mother was a famous pianist. She was always busy with her performances. When I was little, I barely had her around. She always wanted me to become a pianist too, but honestly, I never liked playing the piano as a child." She wipes her tears. "Do you know why I still learned from her? So that I could spend just a little more time with her." Miss Lin breaks down crying. Time passes. One day, Miss Lin forgets her phone in the classroom. A few children grab it and start trying to call their parents. Zane sees what's happening. He knows this phone holds all of his teacher's precious memories of her mother. He tries to rescue it. A struggle breaks out. Everyone is grabbing for the phone. Zane fights with all his might. But then, the phone slips from the child's hand and crashes to the floor. At that moment, Miss Lin walks in. She sees her phone, the one filled with her mother's memories, shattered on the ground. She breaks down. She cries for a long time. The principal calls all 4 children to his office. The other 3 immediately blame Zane. The principal's voice is calm but firm. "Zane doesn't speak, and the 3 of you are putting all the blame on him. I can see exactly what's happening." Suddenly, Zane gets up and walks out. The principal continues talking to himself for a moment. Then he realizes Zane is gone. He becomes angry. He starts searching for Zane. The search stretches from day into night. Still, no Zane. Everyone is looking everywhere. Then the village chief arrives. He says to the principal, "I heard a body was found in the neighboring village." The principal's face hardens. That's not Zane. Why would he go to the neighboring village? Behind Miss Lin, one of the children starts crying. He hugs her tightly. "It wasn't Zane's fault," the boy sobs. "He was trying to save your phone. The fault was all mine." Miss Lin holds him gently. The village chief takes everyone to Zane's house. He opens a small box. It's empty. The village chief explains, "Zane saved all his money in this box. The money is gone." He looks at everyone. That means Zane has taken the money and gone to the city to get Miss Lin's phone repaired. Meanwhile, we see Zane walking through the city streets searching for a mobile repair shop. Ahead, he finds one. He walks toward it. The men inside the shop start mocking him, laughing at this little village boy. Zane doesn't say a word. He pulls the phone from his pocket and places it on the counter. Seeing such an expensive phone, one of the men sneers, "Where did you steal this from?" Zane doesn't answer. He reaches into his pocket again and pulls out his saved money, every last coin, and places it on the table. The man counts it and laughs. "This won't even buy a screen protector." He shoves the phone aside and throws 21 at Zane. "Go home, kid." The men step outside to eat. In that moment, Zane slips into the shop and takes the phone. They spot him. They chase him. They surround him. Then they start beating him. But Zane doesn't let go. He clutches the phone tightly against his chest. He will protect it, no matter what. Suddenly, Miss Lin and the others arrive. They chase the men away. Miss Lin kneels beside Zane, her voice shaking. "Why were they hurting you?" Zane doesn't speak. He just reaches into his chest and pulls out the phone. He places it gently into Miss Lin's hands. Miss Lin wraps her arms around him and weeps. A few moments later, the police arrive. They force the men to apologize to Zane. When they say sorry, Zane holds up the broken phone. His eyes say everything. Fix it. The scene changes. The next day, Miss Lin has prepared a surprise for all the students. The old piano room has been transformed. It's beautiful now. And in the center, sitting at the piano, is Zane. He begins to play. A soft, beautiful melody fills the room. Everyone listens, mesmerized. When he finishes, the room erupts in applause. The children cheer for Zane. Then, one by one, a few children sing for Miss Lin. She never imagined they could sing so beautifully. That afternoon, the village chief brings some food to Miss Lin. As they talk, he mentions, "At today's village meeting, I heard something troubling. They say our primary school won't be here much longer. Do you know anything about that?" Miss Lin is shocked. "No," she says. Just then, the principal pulls up on his electric bike. Miss Lin asks him directly, "I heard our school is closing?" The principal's voice is calm, almost too calm. "Yes," he says. "In 2 months, there won't be a school here anymore." He speaks as if nothing has happened, as if it's just another fact. "I've already arranged city school positions for the other 2 teachers," he continues. "You'll go back to your city, and I'll move to another remote village." Before leaving, he turns to the village chief. "Do me a favor, sell my bike. The school won't be here, so I won't need it anymore." Then he walks away. The next day, the little girl Suzhen arrives at school with her baby brother on her back. She is crying uncontrollably. Miss Lin asks her what's wrong. Suzhen sobs, "My grandfather died. There's no one left at home to take care of my grandmother." The principal walks over. He gently takes the baby from her. "I will keep your brother," he says. "You focus on your studies." Suzhen wipes her tears and walks happily into the classroom. The principal carries the baby to his room, holding the child close to his chest. In the next scene, the principal stands before all the students. "Our school will close in 2 months, he says. "You will all move to the city primary school." A child speaks up. "Sir, the city primary school is so far away from here." The principal's voice softens. "Arrangements will be made for you to stay there." After school ends, the principal walks to the gate to lock it. His hands tremble slightly. His eyes fill with tears. This school holds 30 years of his memories. 30 years of silent sacrifices. That afternoon, the village chief returns from the market. He hands Miss Lin a piece of paper. "I thought you might need this," he says. Miss Lin reads it. Her face lights up with joy. "Thank you," she whispers. "We still have 2 months." The next day, the principal is furious with Miss Lin. "We only have 2 months left," he shouts. "How can we enter such a big competition in this little time? And to even qualify, the children must pass a test first. It's too much trouble. It's impossible." But Miss Lin will not back down. This is a national singing competition for primary schools, and she has already started practicing with the children. From behind the door, the principal listens. The children's voices rise together in beautiful harmony. He cannot hide his smile. He walks into the room and says quietly, "Next week, examiners will come from the city. If all the children pass that test, only then can they enter the competition." The children study together, united. The principal watches from a distance. His heart is bursting with pride, but he shows no one. Finally, the exam day arrives. Teachers from the city come to test the children. Every single child passes. Afterward, they all gather in front of the school for a photograph, smiling, together. The next scene takes us to Beijing, the capital city. They have come to compete. These children have never seen a city before, never seen so many lights. Their eyes are wide with wonder. They stand in front of a beautiful hotel, amazed by everything around them. Then, it's almost time. Miss Lin encourages the children. She turns to the principal. "We need to go. The bus is waiting to take us to the auditorium." But on the way, disaster strikes. A car has collided with their bus. The road is completely blocked. Time is slipping away. The competition has already started. On stage, children from elite city schools are performing. Again and again, the announcer calls their school's name. "Damai Village Primary School, please prepare." Miss Lin makes a decision. "Everyone, out of the bus! We run!" The little children run with all their strength. They stumble. They fall. They get back up. Miss Lin reaches the backstage, gasping for air. The stage manager looks at her. "Where are the others?" "5 minutes, Miss Lin says. "They'll be here in 5 minutes." The manager stares at her. "Are you joking? Your performance is now." On stage, the announcer calls their name again. Silence. The audience begins to murmur. "Call the next school," someone says. The stage manager raises his hand to wave them off. And then, Zane steps forward. He walks onto the stage, alone. Miss Lin calls after him from backstage. But Zane does not listen today. He takes the microphone in his hand. In the audience, the village chief and the 2 teachers freeze. "Zane? Why is he up there? He can't even speak." Zane takes a deep breath, and then he begins to sing. A beautiful, pure voice fills the entire auditorium. The audience falls completely silent. Tears roll down their cheeks. One by one, the other children arrive, out of breath, but ready. They line up behind Zane, and together, they sing. Miss Lin rushes to the piano and begins to play. The music fills the hall. Something magical is happening. Behind them all, the principal stands watching. His eyes glisten with tears he has held back for 30 years. 30 years of waiting for this moment. The children sing with all their hearts, and when the competition ends, they win first place. They beat everyone. Then Zane lowers his head. The movie ends here. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional movie recaps.